Eagles OTAs are officially underway today, but there are a few players underneath a massive microscope as practice begins, although see why some people are wondering if Jordan Davis finally looks ready to dominate in 2024. Plus, Jalen Hurts raved about Saquon Barkley over the weekend, but one expert quickly explained why he thinks the Birds' new back is not going to be a big factor in 2024, and just how quickly can Cooper DeJean or Quinyon Mitchell take James Bradberry's job? This week starts that process. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. The Eagles' first official offseason training activity, or OTA, begins today, and while everyone is excited to see both rookies and veterans on the field together for the very first time, there are a couple players who are in desperate need of a strong week this week in order to hopefully secure their starting spots come training camp. But in order to get to those players, let's first look at a very busy weekend overall for the Birds, starting with the NFL Rookie Premiere over in Los Angeles, where a bunch of NFL draft picks show up. They take very fun pictures in their uniforms for the first time for us fans to enjoy, and they sit through a bunch of NFL-based seminars. Which, if you're wondering, these seminars, according to the NFLPA, offer a unique opportunity to connect with influential young athletes showcasing their products along with emerging stars and leveraging group player rights. Now, we really care about the pictures of our rookies in their actual uniforms, and all we got was Will Shipley here, apparently the only Eagle in attendance based off of pictures. Not sure if anyone else went, but he's in his jersey, rocking the new number 39 and the brand new Eagle logo on the chest. Honestly, to see the rookie in a jersey for the first time, always a fun thing. Now, there were two other big events happening, both of which over in Philadelphia, one of which was the Eagles Women's Fest, and the other was the Eagles Autism Challenge. Now, Jalen Hurts headlined the Eagles Women's Fest. I will put the link where a lot of fans got to show up, meet Jalen, get a tour of the facilities, meet a bunch of other players as well. But it was Jalen's inaugural speech that gave some very interesting comments on the Eagles' new additions. This is some pretty honest stuff here from Jalen Hurts.
Everybody's working hard. Everybody's getting ready. Obviously, we made some big-time moves, and I think we've had Saquon. I think we've had a lot of talent over the years. I think it's about putting it together. It's about putting it together, gelling as a team, coming together, everybody doing their job, everybody holding their end of the rope and doing their role. And so I think if we can do that, we can be special.
Now, I could not agree more. Saquon might be my favorite addition this offseason, mainly due to his potential in this offense versus the absolutely horrific offense he's been in his past couple of seasons at the Giants. A.J. Brown, Smitty on the outside, he's going to absolutely dominate. Plus, the leadership he's already going ahead and showing off the football field has been nothing short of incredible. Although I guess everyone is not as equally convinced that Saquon dominating, because ESPN's Dan Graziano said the other day that, quote, "I'm just not imagining Barkley as a difference maker. So many seem to be assuming he will be this season. Only twice in his 6-year career has Barkley made it through a full season without missing at least one game due to injury. And even if 2024 is the third such season for him, I believe the Eagles' success is going to have to be a lot more to do with whether the passing game rebounds behind quarterback Jalen Hurts and his receivers." Now, Saquon, for what it's worth, didn't really care about this comment because he was at the PGA Championship this weekend enjoying golf and not worrying about ESPN people ripping him on camera for clicks. Still, though, Graziano does make some good points. Saquon has had some injury issues. That was a big comment I saw in the comment section whenever we first signed Saquon Barkley. But when you actually dive into the details of Saquon's injury history, it's not as bad as it looks. For instance, 2020 was the one big year where he only played 2 games before tearing his ACL. Since then, however, he's played in over 13 games each of the last 3 years. He's not been out for extended periods of time. Plus the fact that now he's in an offense where he doesn't have to be the hero every single play. He won't face very many loaded boxes, and he's going to have a lot of opportunities for one-on-one matchups because all the focus will continue to stay on A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, and DeVonta Smith. Saquon can now just be Saquon. He can run the football against very light boxes. He can do read options. He can obviously catch the football out of the backfield. He is poised for a very, very great season, and anyone can get injured at any time, and I don't really hold that over Saquon Barkley, at least throughout his past history. Now, speaking of the Eagles running back, Saquon, A.J., and Smitty will all be at DeVonta Smith's charity softball game on June 29th. And I decided to give away 2 tickets to DeVonta Smith's charity softball game on June 29th in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Here's how to enter. First, be subscribed. You always got to be subscribed to go ahead and win on this channel. And then comment softball down in the comment section right now, and that will be your first entry. Now, Wednesday's video will also give you a chance to comment softball for a total of 2 entries. I'll then select a random subscriber, and I'll announce the winner on Friday's show. Oh, and myself and Josh Davis are both planning on being at the softball game and probably a media capacity as well, so you can meet all of your favorite Eagle players and hopefully meet us as well. Now, the other big event was the Eagles Autism Challenge and bike race, and thankfully no one was hit by a car this year, but they raised over $8 million for a great cause, and of course Jason Kelsey, not necessarily an Eagle this year, maybe he could change his mind, but he was in attendance and tried to introduce his youngest daughter to a familiar family friend. Although, believe it or not, the biggest story out of the entire Eagles Autism Challenge was this picture of Jordan Davis. This went crazy on Twitter, and you go, Thomas, it's just him in a bike helmet and a race outfit. However, people are noting on Twitter that Davis looks way slimmer and way more fit than we've seen him in the past. Now, let's be clear. It's a photograph. It's one photograph of Jordan Davis. This isn't concrete evidence that he's lost 40 pounds and is going to be in the best shape of his life. If you have a girlfriend or a fiance or a wife like I do now, you notice that, of course, the camera can either add or take away 20 pounds. No, honey, please, just retake the picture. I want a better angle. You basically get my point. Still, though, if we go off this one picture, he does look way more in shape. And last season, this is all anyone could ever talk about was how overweight and out of shape Jordan Davis was and how the Eagles definitely got hosed with their first-round draft pick from a couple of years ago. And Philadelphia did select him at number 12 overall to be the focal point of a defensive line, and he hasn't really lived up to anywhere near those expectations. I mean, Shane Half pointed out that he was 55th in total snaps last season, 32nd in tackles, 76th in sacks, and 52nd in pressures out of all defensive tackles last year. Still, though, it wasn't all bad. He was 7th in run-stop win rate last season, which is really the main reason why you drafted him so high, but still, it's not necessarily as good as it should be. This is why Jordan Davis is still going to be under a microscope, not just this week, but every single week going forward. If you're a first-round draft pick and you still haven't produced really that much over your first 3 seasons and you still have kind of conditioning, weight loss issues, you've got to go ahead and figure things out sooner rather than later. And if he has slimmed down and if he is able to stay on the football field for more than a couple of snaps a game and really on the football field in December, January, February, then maybe the Eagle defensive line can be way better than even it was this past season. Now, another player I'm definitely keeping an eye on is linebacker Nolan Smith, who definitely flashed very little this past season. And while my good friend Josh Davis is holding out hope that it's just a shoulder injury that's been fixed now, he's still a first-round draft pick, which means his time is basically up. Like, you gotta pop year 2, year 3. And the Eagles need a lot of edge rusher help after losing Hassan Reddick. Even with the addition of Bryce Huff, I'm hoping to see some big things from Nolan Smith, not just this week at OTAs, but especially during training camp when the pads come on. Although, would you blame me if I said I'm probably most excited to watch all of the cornerbacks really go off this week? First, we get to see what all the new additions do for guys like James Bradberry and Kelee Ringo, who both need to improve and be better in order to keep their roles in this defense in 2024. Plus, who doesn't want to see Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean go one-on-one against A.J. Brown and DeVonta Smith? The new DBs are going to get baptized one way or another. They're not going to win every single rep, but talk about getting started sooner rather than later and learning under 2 masters of the game on the outside in Brown and Smitty. Finally, we got to keep an eye on the linebacker spot and really where they line up over the next couple of days and who starts to stand out. I think you're going to see Devin White and Nakobe Dean as a starting pair, but how quickly can names like Zach Bond and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. try and really just stand out in what is a much better, I would say, linebacker core than 2023, but overall still one that has a lot of question marks. Let me know what you're most excited to hear about at OTAs this week. I'll be sure to cover it every single video going forward in the next couple of days. OTAs are not necessarily training camp, but it's very important for people to get the playbook down, to learn the new offense, the new defense, and really show who's really going to push people to start going into training camp in 2024. We got plenty more stuff happening the next couple of days and weeks. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been The Thomas Mott Show.